Good day, everyone. So, as a continuation of Miss Mika's report, I will now discuss the part 2, Exile from the Mahabharata. So, this part talks about the 12 years when the Pandavas live in the forest after losing their kingdom in the game of dice. But even though they were exiled, they were not alone. Many loyal Brahmins and servants followed them, showing their faith and support. So, to help them survive, the gods gave them a magical plate of food that never ran out, showing divine support for their goodness. One of the most important lessons in this part is about Dharma, which means doing what is right or fulfilling one's duty. Yudhishthira is very devoted to it even when cheated in the dice game. He refuses to fight or break his promise because doing so would go against his dharma. However, not everyone agrees. Draupadi and Bhima criticize him, asking, "Why do we suffer if we are the righteous ones?" They feel it is unfair that good people face pain while the weak enjoy success. Yudhishthira explains that virtue should never be done for rewards. He says, do not doubt virtue just because you do not see its result. The fruits of true goodness are eternal. In other words, we should do what is right simply because it is right, not for personal gain. This part teaches us that faith in righteousness must remain firm even when life feels unfair. So, although the Mahabharata was written in a male dominated time, some women in the story are strong and wise, especially Draupadi, Kunti, and Gandhari. Draupadi questions Yudhishthira's decisions and speaks bravely about justice. She stays faithful to her 5 husbands and resists men like Jayadratha and Kikaka who try to take advantage of her. Kunti and Gandhari also give wise advice to their sons and husbands. So through them, we see that women in the Mahabharata are not weak. They have strength, intelligence, and influence. After years in the forest, everyone begins preparing for the great war that will later happen in Kurukshetra. So Arjuna travels to the mountains to obtain celestial weapons. He meets Lord Shiva, who blesses him with divine arms. He also stays with his father Indra, learning how to use these weapons in the battle against demons. At the same time, Karna wants to gain equal power. He serves the Brahmin Parasurama, who hates warriors. When Parasurama learns that Karna is secretly a warrior, he curses him that he will forget his most powerful weapon at the moment he needs it most, leading to his future downfall. So later, Karna meets Indra, disguised as a Brahmin, and out of generosity gives away his golden armor. Even though it causes him pain, this act shows Karna's honor and kindness even toward those who will one day be his enemies. So during exile, Duryodhana tries to mock the Pandavas in the forest, but it is captured by the divine Gandharvas. So ironically, the Pandavas save him, the very cousin who humiliated them. So Duryodhana feels ashamed but still swears revenge, showing how pride blinds him. In other events, 4 of the Pandavas' brothers die after drinking from a poisonous lake. Yudhishthira answers the riddles of Dharma, who is disguised as a crane, and earns back their lives. So this story reminds us that wisdom, patience, and respect for the divine lead to survival. So for their 13th and final year, the Pandavas must live in disguise to complete their exile. They hide in the kingdoms of Virata, pretending to be servants. So Yudhishthira becomes a poor Brahmin. Bhima works as a cook. Arjuna disguises himself as Eunuch's teacher. Draupadi becomes a maidservant. One general named Kikaka tries to harm Draupadi. She asks Bhima for help and he kills Kikaka in disguise, showing the value of justice and courage. When war threatens Virata's kingdom, Arjuna reveals his identity to save it, winning the battle but breaking their condition of secrecy. Now, the Pandavas must either repeat their exile or go to the war. So both sides start forming alliances. Duryodhana and Arjuna both seek help from Krishna. Krishna offers them a choice, his army or himself. Arjuna chooses Krishna while Duryodhana takes the army. So the Kauravas prepare for war under Bhishma's command, while Karna vows to fight only after Bhishma's death. So before battle, Krishna tries to make peace and warns Duryodhana to surrender, but he refuses. When Duryodhana tries to arrest Krishna, Krishna reveals his divine form, showing he is the incarnation of God. And even the blind king, Dhritarashtra, is granted divine sight to witness Krishna's glory. So Krishna also tells Karna that he is actually Kunti's son, making him a brother of the Pandavas. But Karna chooses loyalty to Duryodhana over blood ties, knowing it will lead to his death. He promises his mother that either he or Arjuna will survive, ensuring she will still have 5 sons. Finally, Duryodhana declares that he will never surrender even as much land as a needle's tip. He blames his nature and fate, saying, I am whatever the gods have made me. So this shows how pride and stubbornness can destroy even the mightiest men. So to sum it up, the exile part of the Mahabharatas teaches us several key lessons. So first one is to follow your dharma even when life is unfair. Do good without expecting rewards. Value wisdom and righteousness, and lastly, stand for what is right, just as Pandavas and Draupadi did, even in their suffering. So thank you, and that ends my discussion about part 2, exile. Thank you.